My name is Colin Pinchin, and this is Pathways, my project submission for the Andy Kesteloo Memorial Student Project Award. Within the northeast False Creek neighborhood of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, there is an underdeveloped precinct containing the set-to-be-removed Georgia and Dunsmuir viaducts. Since their construction, they created an urban boundary, preventing the surrounding neighborhoods from developing integrated and inclusive communities. Today, the area faces demographic conflicts, and only several blocks north of the precinct is Vancouver's downtown east side, home to a drug and homelessness crisis in the city. You see, Vancouver is lacking in public hygiene facilities, affordable housing options, and accessible personal services on the downtown east side. This causes homelessness and prevents vulnerable people from finding their path in life. Seeing this situation in the city I live in inspired me to pursue a potential architectural solution with my proposal. This difficult physical and social context is the site for the project, which looks to regenerate its context to a welcoming, sustainable, and resilient community through a broad system of values and strategies embedded into the design decisions made. The vision for the architecture is to operate as a system in which people are accepted from diverse backgrounds of hardship, offered their basic needs, along with an opportunity to practice and develop life skills. The idea takes shape as a facility for personal transition and development, complemented by a transitional housing component for at-risk people in their journey to recovery. The building is a mixed-use development comprised of 2 commercial stories from ground and 6 residential stories plus an accessible rooftop above. The first story contains a day-use hygiene facility and shelter. The second story complements the first by providing a personal development center. The residential stories contain 60 self-contained micro-dwelling transitional housing units across 5 levels, where 2 units can be converted to a single wheelchair-accessible unit. In addition, 2 shared amenity levels sandwich the dwelling levels to create an internal community within the building. The third story is the first amenity level, containing communal spaces for residents as well as functional spaces. The 4th through the 8th story contain the dwelling quarters, where 2 alternate dwelling level layouts accommodate varying user group needs. The 9th story is the second amenity level, which provides an outdoor roof terrace and planted green roof. The external east orientation of the dwelling units allows for universal daylight autonomy in all occupied spaces, while leaving the internal spaces running north-south for horizontal and vertical circulation of people, air, light, and community. This enabled the opportunity for an activated courtyard. The unconditioned volume created by the courtyard reduces the thermally conditioned space of the building, therefore minimizing operational energy demand and cost. It also provides solar access and daylighting opportunities to the internal environment, which reduces electricity demand and elevates human well-being. The courtyard also allows for vegetation growth within the shared volume, as well as on the planted roof terrace, allowing residents universal access to nature. In creating regional and place-based architecture, the building is to be constructed primarily from mass timber. In doing so, the building's embodied carbon can be vastly reduced. Mass timber construction also offers logistic and aesthetic benefits for this project through prefabrication, modularity, as well as visual and tactile beauty. Architecturally, the building reflects the nearby Port of Vancouver through expressing salvaged shipping containers as the skin and structure of the dwelling units. The shipping containers are prefabricated as finished dwelling unit volumes with a high-performance building envelope, reducing operational energy demand. The salvaged material embedded in the building also emits additional embodied carbon. This idea of material reuse is one of my favorite aspects of the project. The prefabricated volumes are modular and can accommodate future expansion or even disassembly in the face of drastic environmental or climate crisis. Both the commercial and residential components of the building have efficient mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems designed to be concealed and distributed in raised floor plenums on the commercial levels before rising into vertical distribution shafts for the residential levels. Renewable energy was also considered to provide the development with resiliency. Despite the small development site in the urban context, the optimal photovoltaic array design for the site was able to power 53% of the building's total electricity demand. A net zero option was possible, however, it eliminated the desired open-to-sky green roof for the building residents with the increased size of the solar canopy. Throughout the design process, environmental and social responsibility were broad values in the vision for regenerating the surrounding community. These values come together in the architecture and address the needs at the heart of the issue to create the greatest regenerative potential. As an experiment, I believe this proposal could begin to define the ways in which we could benefit as whole communities and neighborhoods through the way we develop individual functional programs vital to society and knit them into existing physical and social contexts. Moving forward to my career in architecture, I plan to work towards these type of regenerative projects because they make the greatest positive impacts towards the natural environment through the built environment. Thank you for listening.